What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Upside. I am up bright and early, and by up, I mean that I haven't went to sleep yet. It's been a crazy, crazy night. This market will keep you up. It'll keep you thinking. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. Here we talk about sports, sports cards, and sports cards investing, and we try to do it every day. If you haven't already, be sure to shoot me a follow on Twitter. There, I kind of tweet about basketball every day. Yes, you get some insight watching the show, but sometimes things are urgent. You need to know things right away, and it can't wait till the next day. Twitter is going to be that place. Also, try to tweet some NBA highlights, and I tweet about trash players because Darius Garland he was kind of trash earlier on in the game. You can also follow me on Instagram where I'll do some charts, do some posts. I tweet about the market reports here every day, as well as just going over some cards over on Star Stock. And I show some pickups as well. So yeah, if you can, definitely shoot me a follow. It means a lot. I look forward to engaging with you guys. And I know new people watch this every day, and a large portion of you aren't subscribed. So definitely do so. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. So today we're going to start off the show with some NBA news. Bleacher Report dropped their top 25 wings. They're kind of predicting the top 25 like small forwards of the season. A few days ago, we showed you the guards, or Bleacher Report showed you the guards. Let me not take credit for their work. But yeah, today they're going to be showing you the small forwards and starting off with some low tier guys, Jay Crowder, Joe Harris. You guys know how it goes. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll leave the whoa. Come on now. Michael Porter Jr. at 22. Come on now. Who's 21? Come on now. All right, I'm not going to. Maybe you shouldn't read this, but no, I'll leave the link in the description so you guys can check it out. I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. I have to read more into that. But yeah, this is always good things to take a look into because it can kind of give you a perspective of the market. You can kind of see who's hot, who's not, and yeah, people do take these things seriously. People look at these and they do have an effect on price points. So yeah, again, I'll link that in the description so you can kind of see who number one is. I haven't even seen it yet myself, so I'm interested to scroll down to see, even though, we already know who number one is. The Athletic did an entire article on Svi Mykhailiuk. I'm just showing this off because I'm from Detroit. I'm repping those Pistons. I actually shared, one of his cards, his Prism rookie, as one of my Star Stock picks, and it did pretty good. It jumped up about 100%. And yeah, I read this entire article. They're going really deep into his background, how last year he kind of exploded and it wasn't expected. And they're giving him a chance. That's pretty much what they're talking about. We're giving him a chance. He's a dead spot up shooter. And essentially Mihailuk is saying that he's more than that. He's saying that he's a real, two guard. He's an offensive weapon. So, he's saying that he beats himself up because he doesn't always prove that every night. So it's sounding like this season he wants to go out and do that. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he could do for the Pistons. They kind of have that shooting guard position wide open for him. DeLon Wright's a great player, great defender, also another great shooter. But if he can figure it out, he might have a starting role. And guys, his cards are dirt cheap. I'm not saying go grab them because we don't know what's going to happen. The Pistons are a horrible team, but they are dirt cheap, and that's something that we just don't find in today's market. So yeah, I'll link this as well in the description. I believe the Athletic requires a subscription to read. I'm not really sure. So yeah, if you can read it, great. If not, hit me up and I can kind of give you a little summary of it. Now moving on to some more recent NBA news. I don't know if you guys had watched any of the games yesterday, but yesterday was like one of the better sports days for me. It was like you could tell people were kind of like a little more seasoned yesterday. And I was watching that Bulls game, and Zach Levine was just killing it. Like he started off just crushing it, and I was tweeting like, "Yo, this guy's a bucket." Like Zach Levine's really underrated. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but yeah, Kobe White came out of nowhere as well and started doing his thing. This isn't loading because I have dial up, but you guys get the point. He had 27 points. He went 11 from 17 from the field, which is super efficient, and he put up 5 boards and 3 assists. So I mean, if he can keep that up, that's going to be tough to keep up, but that's going to be elite point guard level. We were talking about how he can kind of be in that conversation with Trey Young and John Morant. Do I think he's going to be as popular? No. Do I think he's going to be, able to run a team? No. Do I think his cards can become, up there with them? Probably not, but I do see them going up in price. And just off yesterday's game alone, we've seen them already jump. These were his 2019-20 Prism rookie PSA 10 was going like in that 175, 180, 185 on a good day. Like it was going in that range. And yesterday we saw a ton of them sell for $225. I think eight of them sold. So, not a huge boost, but that's like a 50, $60, price increase. And that's overnight. So that's pretty solid on a percentage basis. So, if Kobe White can keep this up, we can probably, assume that he can be in that 349 range. Again, that would take, some really consistent performances from him, but he's shown that he can do it. So, yeah, we actually shouted him out as well for a star stock pick. And, if you haven't guessed, I'm also going to be picking him up again today, and I'll be sharing that with you guys in a morning bin. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, definitely do so you can check that out. But yeah, shout out to Kobe White, shout out to Zach Levine. I mean, they just had some really great games, and I'm excited to see that core develop. Like, I really believe they could be the Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum of the East. And I'm not saying like they're going to be those type of players. I'm just saying I think they can have like an effective backcourt. And yeah, I said it once, I said it before, man. I'll go on the record. I think Zach Levine is the Devin Booker of the East. I don't care what you guys think. Is he a little older? Yeah. Is he more athletic? Yes. But I think he's going to be that shooting guard on the East that can put up 28 points, not nonstop every night. He just has to find his rhythm. So yeah, watch out, Bradley Beal, because you got competition. Speaking of Eastern Conference players, another super dope card ended last night, and that's of Ben Simmons. It's actually his Prism Silver BGS 9.5. This was not a true gem. It had a 9.5 in centering, 9.5 on the edges as well as the corners, but it had a surface of 9, and it hit $1,007. So that's a few dollars more than the previous one. I think that one went for like 980. So yeah, Ben Simmons, they played that one preseason game. He didn't do anything special. Like he looked comfortable out there, but we didn't see like any jump shots, or we didn't see what we wanted. He had about 10 points and a few dishes. So yeah, he's still trending pretty high, that $1,000 price point. And I'm kind of shocked. I'm a Ben Simmons fan. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but I'm kind of shocked that his cards are up there like that, because he's off an injury and we just haven't seen that much. And yeah, people are bullish, man. People think Ben Simmons is going to come out and crush it. I hope he does, because I'm holding a few cards myself. So I hope this Prism auction is an indicator that he's going to do well. Another one of his cards actually ended as well, and that was his 2016-17 Select Courtside. So Courtside's obviously been a theme of this show. Again, for those of you who are new, I think it's going to be an iconic set. And Ben Simmons is one of the first court size that doesn't have the checker print. So I'm not sure if that's going to mean anything later down the road. I'm kind of reaching with that, but I'm just putting it out there for those of you who may care. But yeah, this actually went for $1,500. And you can see these were slept on. This seller had four of these, like just sitting around. I remember a few months ago, 6 months ago, I had a few myself. I was picking them up for like $500. So yeah, now they're going for 1,500, and I believe they're going to keep trending. So we're going to pay attention and see if that happens, because that's going to be a huge indicator. Remember, these are going for like a John Moran is going for like $5,000. A Trey Young is going for like $10,000. So to be able to get like Ben Simmons for 1,500 is a pretty solid deal, considering his Prison Silver PSA 10 is right up there with those guys. So do I think these are going to trend at $5,000? I'm not really sure yet. That's what we're kind of looking out for. If that does happen though, man, that's going to be insane. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on these and keep you guys updated. For those of you who can't wait for that, you just like, maybe you want to get in now. There are some live auctions of Ben Simmons. This one's a BGS 9.5. It's a true gem. It's going for $1,200. I'm not sure if that's expensive or not. There's not enough data for me to kind of gauge, but I figured I would just let you know, for those of you who are looking to jump into some courtside cards. This is actually going to be one of the cards on morning bins, because it's a card that has some risk reward to it. Is it expensive? Yes, but if we're looking at the pattern, and if we're looking at the data, it may be a short matter of time before it kind of doubles in price, but it may not as well. So again, going to see how that plays out. Another card, within that courtside family is one of Jamal Murray. He also has a 2016-17 BGS 9.5, and his are actually even more limited, because people weren't great in Jamal Murray cards. I think Ben Simmons has like 100 of them, I believe, between BGS and PSA, and then Jamal Murray has like less than 20. So this one's going for 1350. And I think it's a fair value. I mean, his Prism Silver PSA 10 is like $1,000 for a BGS 9.5. So I feel like 1350 isn't that bad. But again, there's not a lot of data on these. So you might even be able to get it for cheaper. And this one does have the best offer option. So definitely check out Morning Bins today to see if that's a play for you because who knows? These silver cards could blow up and we could see Jamal Murray hitting John Morant prices. Let me know what you think in the comments about that. Do you think that's going to be a play? I'm interested to know. And that's kind of it for, the sports cards news for the market report. There wasn't a lot of action yesterday. It was actually a pretty slow day, which sucked because the basketball was great. So it would have been an amazing day to list. But moving on, yesterday I tweeted about this Stephen Curry card that ended for $616,230. For those of you who aren't watching on YouTube, that was his 2009 2010 National Treasures Gold rookie, number 225, and it was the BGS 9.5 and I believe a 10 auto. So yeah, it went for $616,230. And uh, whenever these auctions end or these type of things are posted, it just blows me away. Like it makes me really rethink my portfolio. And there's a part of me that's doing this because I love flipping and it's really fun. But then there's a part of me that really wants to build like a future alternative kind of asset stash. And I kind of reevaluate what things I want, what things I don't want. There's a few cards that I'm really comfortable with, and there's a few cards that I'm like, I don't know if I need this, like, or I don't know if I really would want this for 10, 20 years. And when I look at this Steph Curry National Treasures card, it's definitely one that I want for 10 or 20 years. So, I'm looking at my PC or whatever you want to call it, and I'm rethinking some things. I'm at the point where I'm thinking maybe it's time to involve a third party, where I maybe like ship my cards off to somebody because I'll be honest, sometimes housing these cards and having them here just give me a lot of anxiety. It's something that I want to talk more about with you guys as well, like storing your cards and making sure they're safe, maybe even getting into some insurance or bringing somebody on the show to kind of talk about that because these cards are getting expensive and like they're just chilling here and like I don't know if I feel comfortable with that. So, let me know what you guys are doing with your cards. I'm gonna look into some more options for myself, but again, thinking about involving a third party or just having somebody house them. But yeah, when I look at cards like this, it's like this is where it needs to be at. These are the kind of cards that I want to hold for the next 10 to 20 years. And I think a good option for that might be collectibles for me. I know I mentioned this before, and it didn't get the best feedback. A lot of people were talking about how they charged a lot of fees, or they were talking about that you couldn't trade your assets. But I think it's a play. I just picked up some of the Giannis National Treasure, some shares of that in their app. And for those of you who aren't familiar with collectibles, essentially what it is a fractional investing platform. So basically, you get to invest in alternative assets, but just fractionally. So for example, they had a Michael Jordan, a 1986 Fleer PSA 10, and they were charging $10 per share. So you would be able to buy, 100 shares or whatever the case may be, and kind of get a percentage of the card. So that's one option that I'm looking at. They're still kind of like in beta, it seems, and they're building some things out. That kind of wearies me. They have some weird verbiage on the website, like a lot of ifs and not guaranteed. So but it's just something I'm thinking about. Maybe this is a better way for me to invest and buy. I noticed that when things are kind of like digital and not so much physical, it doesn't give me as much anxiety. Like when I logged back into this app, I was like, oh, I kind of forgot that I bought these, or I forgot that I invested in this, and that's kind of how I want to look at some of the investments, kind of like an afterthought. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of rambling now, kind of going through my problems, but I'll share that with you when I kind of figure it out. I'll share more of this with you when I figure it out. And for those of you who are like really on board with this and you like it, so this is Collectibles. There's also another app called Rally. Collectibles is really more sports dominant, and Rally is kind of all things alternative. They do Pokemon, they do memorabilia, things like that. So let me know what you guys think about these as future plays. I'm going through a lot of issues with eBay and people like returning cards, and I'm wondering if this is just a better way to buy certain cards. There's certain cards that I love flipping, and then there's certain cards that I can do without. So let me know what you guys think about collectibles or Rally if you're kind of big on those platforms, especially those of you who kind of use them exclusively. With that being said, that's pretty much it for the show. We had some market news. We saw Kobe White's Prism go up. We got these courtside auctions ending at all-time highs. And, we're excited about seeing, where they go in the future. Are the courtside auctions going to go up? Are they going to go down? Do you see Ben Simmons kind of reaching those John Morant, Trae Young levels? Or do you see him kind of like plateauing at some point? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. I send videos like this out every day. I send morning bins, upside auctions, all type of plays to you, so you don't have to do that much work, and investing can be easy for you. So if you haven't already, definitely go check that out. Sign up for it. That's it for this one, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Happy investing.